lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, but again, away feels like it's been a freaking decade.
Welcome back to Contracts and Cocktails. I'm Kellie Bowling.
I am Carolyn Smith.
We're with the Coastal Estate team.
We are.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about whether when you're shopping for a home, buying a new home or a home that's been renovated versus buying a fixer-upper.
Yes.
And does it make sense financially to do one or the other? So,
yes. Yeah, because there are so many times that we'll take people out and we will show both. And they're like, they've seen a lot of HGTV.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these, or just like transformation videos where they're like, here's the before, and magically,
oh, yeah.
you know,
it's so beautiful now.
Fingers.
Yeah.
They show the beautiful house and somebody's like, I can do that. And the person will say on the video too, like, I've never done anything like this before.
Oh, yeah.
And look what I did. I transformed this home.
And they do look beautiful, and it's very, very enticing, I will say. Be like, wow, I could make my house look like that.
Right.
It's
And spend this much less money.
On the house.
Right.
Because you're going to save so much money on your monthly payment
Yes.
by buying that fixer versus the nicer renovated home.
Yes.
But unless you have a lot of cash sitting in the bank, like let's say, you know, maybe you paid cash for the house.
Yes.
So then you have the extra cash that you didn't spend. But even still, did you really get it at enough of a discount to do the full improvement that you want to do to make it equal to the other home that you decided not to buy that was already done?
Right.
And, you know, I get that there's some value in putting your own touch and your own finish and your own personality on a home. I do understand that. But you can do that with your decor and paint, which is not cheap. I mean, it's actually not cheap to paint. Right. I mean, even if you're doing it yourself, it can be expensive.
That's right. But if you really think, oh, I'm going to do a DIY and I'm not really a DIY kind of person, start with paint.
Yes.
Start with paint and see if you can do that. I feel like people don't think about the math of it. And that's, you know, what I have found is, so let's say I'm saving $500 a month. Right. Saving $500 a month on my mortgage by buying this less expensive home. And like, that's so much money. I'm going to fix up the house. So in a year, I'm saving $6,000.
If you're saving it and not spending it on something else.
Well, and that too. So maybe I'm only saving $300 a month because the $200 I used for something else. But let's assume you're taking the full $500. You're really good. You've put it aside. You've got $6,000 a year. The average kitchen remodel, and I think this is low, is like $28,000 now.
Yeah.
I think the average kitchen remodel is closer to $40,000. But, you know, how many years, months and years will it take you while you're living with your old, crappy, beat-up kitchen, beat-up appliances?
You'll be wanting to sell that house before you're remodeling it.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to be... Well, 6 times 3 is 18. I haven't made enough yet. 6 times 4 is 24. I haven't made enough yet. I'm going to be at 4.5, 5 years before I can afford the kitchen.
Right.
Now, that doesn't count my floors. It doesn't count my paint. It doesn't count my windows that need to be done, my roof. Oh, my AC died on year 3. So then I had to take some of that money and put it into the AC.
You're already, you know, you've got sinking funds for other things, or, you know, maybe you have sinking funds for other things like your roof, which is, you're going to, you know, you got to replace it every so many years.
Yeah.
Same thing with your AC.
Yeah.
Other things around the house that you know have to be replaced and maintained on a certain timely basis. Mm-hmm. Then to go and do the extra things, it's like, you know, my house was like a work in progress the whole time. Like, you know, the first thing was paint, and we did light fixtures because that was quick, it was easy, and the results are like instantly dramatic, right? And then when you have to do the things that aren't so pretty, that you don't get to really appreciate, like
ductwork.
You don't even see that.
No, you don't even see it.
Or even the HVAC. Okay, so you might see it outside and you feel it, but it's still like, really? I mean, I'm assuming I'm going to be able to have air conditioning or a roof. You can see that, but it's like, well, I have a roof, you know?
Yeah, I had a roof. Now I have a roof. Yeah, so it looks prettier. Or windows. I mean, windows are the same thing. Yeah, they look nicer, but
pretty, but like they're not as big of a, they're expensive. They're just not as big of an appreciation thing. Like if you're going to remodel a whole bathroom or put all new flooring in your house. And I was the type of person that like every time we would get a quote to do something in our home, everything was $5,000. And this is years ago. And I'm like, why does everything cost $5,000? Yeah. And then now the number has jumped. Yes. So my naivete, I was like, we're going to redo our master bathroom.
Yeah.
It'll probably cost like $10,000.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It was closer to $40,000.
Yeah.
And that was us, sourcing all of the people out.
Right.
Like, we have a plumber, we have a tile guy, we have a
your
drywall
own
guy.
tile
Bought
yourself.
our own tile.
Yep.
Yep. And shows our paint.
Yeah.
And I even bought like the bathtub, on sale, so we had all this stuff like staged in our garage, like waiting for the day that we could have somebody come in and do the work. So I kept a little log of how much everything cost and where I found it at. And it was just like shocking to see like that's what it actually costs. And it's not super high end, I wouldn't say. Like It looks pretty. It's
beautiful.
way better than it was before. Yeah. But it's not like super generic, and it's also not super custom. Like you're not seeing it in some like Manhattan penthouse or anything like that. It just fits my house.
In a Ryan Serhant video.
Yeah, but it's like, to do the kitchen, we've been in our house 7 years. It's not even on the agenda.
Well, and it's true because the kitchen, I mean, if you Google it, it says it's $28,000. I think the average kitchen remodel starts at 40 and goes to about 80. I think if you're in the mid range, you're going to be at like 60,000. And for me, I like redoing a house. That's sort of my thing. So I can't buy an already done house. Although at this point in my life, I think I probably could. And you're living through it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. And there's people in your house, and they come very early.
You only just had a shower done.
Oh, my gosh.
And
nightmare.
It's like you can't go in your bathroom, like especially when it's your master bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to pee. Well, you're not using that one.
Yeah.
So you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And showering, you don't realize, like, the luxury of being able to shower in your own attached bathroom until you don't have that privilege anymore.
Yeah, and it's like the one day you wanted to sleep in, it's like, oh, that's the day they wanted to start early. They're coming at 7:30. You have to be fully ready, dressed, out of there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing I hate more than people in my house early in the morning. But to get that bathroom, I was like, grin and bear it, girl. Like, you're just going to leave and go somewhere else for the day. And then when you come home, they'll be gone.
Yeah, and they were.
Yes.
And it came out beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you get exactly what you want, but I feel like there's so many personal things you can do in a renovated or partially renovated house or a new house that you make it your own anyway. Do you really want to go through that? And the other thing is, I don't know if it's going to last, but good contractors, short supply.
Yes.
Short supply. So getting people to show up, do the work, give you a good price.
Just give you a quote.
Yeah.
That's half the battle.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we do have our list of people. But again, our list of people, they're booked out for months sometimes.
Months and months.
Yeah.
Months and months. I recently had a client close on a new construction condo, and they have like a built-in bar area. It's a dry bar, but it's really pretty. And then they decided they wanted to do like an upper cabinet thing with built-in shelves. And these guys are booking out into May.
Oh, wow.
Booking out into May, the trim carpenters, to just do this like kind of simple cabinetry. And so, it takes a long time. And are they really going to show up in May?
Yeah. I'm not a patient person. My husband will tell you when I'm booking things to be done, or really with anything, honestly, like I want it right now. I don't want to wait. I want it right now, today. And that has bitten me in the butt.
Yeah.
We had our pool resurfaced, and I called all these people, and all these people were booking months out. But there was one guy. He was available right now. He could do it in 2 weeks. And I'm like, we'll hire him. And his price was decent, And then I was regretting it later because it was not a great experience. Yeah. So if they are available right now, there's probably a reason why.
And even if they're booking way out, like my sliding glass. So I have slowly been converting my 1960s house into all impact glass windows, sliding glass doors, everything. So I have one sliding glass door that wasn't done, and then a bathroom window. So I ordered those, and this was in 2021. I ordered them in like June of 2021. They're like, they'll be in February of 2022. I was like, February of 20? Okay. So January rolls around into 2022, and they're like, oh, yeah. Or I think I even called in December. Oh, yeah, we forgot to order those.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. We forgot to order those. We're going to put them on a rush. I will tell you, those just got done in September or October of 20. So I waited over a year for a sliding glass door and a window.
How many houses have you seen when you're riding around where people needed to get new windows and they're just boarded up?
Yeah.
For like literally months. I had a client that bought this house in Satellite Beach, and the next door neighbor's house was that way. You could tell they were doing some renovations, but like all the openings, the doors, everything, plywood over them. And she's like, what's going on over there? So I looked into it, and they had permits pulled to do the windows and the doors, but sometimes those materials, especially the impact glass here, has been hard to get. And I don't know why they took the old stuff out before they put the new stuff in. Like,
there's something wrong with
it? Maybe. maybe they had some water intrusion or something. I'm not really sure what the situation was there, but I see that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Where, they've pulled a few out, or, you have storm damage like right now, all those homes on the beach that are missing windows and things like that, and they're boarded up because they've got to wait for somebody to come out and do things. There's one, like it's a property, it's not a house, but it's like a quadplex that kind of like the beach eroded away and like their pool's hanging over the cliff there. And the well.
To Florida.
I know,
fun.
It's great. But the well is still like spewing water as you walk on the beach. And it's like, because they haven't had anybody there cap it off. So it's all taped off. Nobody can stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did learn that last storm that I'm as close to the ocean as I need to be.
Yeah.
I don't need to be oceanfront.
We recommend like across the street.
Yeah.
Across the street. Unless you really, or be on the river.
The river's nice.
The river's beautiful and you don't get as much salt spray.
That's Tommy's next goal. He wants to have a river home so he can put his boat in his backyard.
Oh, I don't even care about a boat.
I'm like, but your boat's in the backyard now. There's just no water there. Does that count?
It's on a trailer. Yeah. Does that matter?
I mean, you can drive it to the water.
Yeah. So, but we digress. So,
that is off topic. But, some of the things that, having to do with the home that you buy. And then think about, like, if you do get sick of your house because you never were able to save the money and now you have to sell the money or sell the house because you're like, I've decided I need a new home or one that's been renovated because I'm tired of living in construction. You'll get there, I promise you.
Yes.
Every time I show in Viera, I'm like, oh, these pretty new houses.
Yes.
But you're going to have to sell it. So those things are going to need to be handled. The roof is going to need to be replaced probably. It's going to need an updated AC, the water heater, these sorts of things. Well, where's the money for that? Well, if you list with us, then we can find you the money because Compass offers the concierge program.
Amazing program.
We both have had sellers use that otherwise would not have been able to sell their homes and move somewhere else. Like they might have been able to sell their home at a discounted price, but they wouldn't have had enough money to then purchase a new home.
And the thing is some of the basic things that we're talking about that you would do with this concierge program, they're things that really, really impact the value. So that they're losing money because they don't have the money to put on the new roof or to paint or whatever, but they're losing so much more than the cost of the roof or the cost of painting by not being able to do it. And that's why we love Compass. We love this program.
Well, the buyers that I had or they were sellers and buyers because they did buy their new home. We started way back over the end of the summer, like talking about what we needed to do. Let's get the plan together. They did apply for the concierge program. They got approved, and we started working on things. They had a 19-year-old roof that had just had solar panels put on it. We won't even talk about that.
Yeah.
So they
careful of the solar panels, people.
Yeah, don't do
That's
it.
That's a whole
nother topic for sure. But so we had to pay the solar company to come out and remove the panels so that we could then have the roofing company come out, and removing it was half the cost of the actual roof. Which is crazy. It was like $3,500 on a discount that I begged the guy, please, they don't have this extra, like, can you just take them off?
Terrible.
So they got the new roof put on. They came back out, put the solar panels back on. And then it was like, your pool needs to be resurfaced and you need to rescreen this and you need to do these things. So they did all of the things. And they got way more than they ever thought they would be able to get for their house. Because when we first started talking, they were thinking like, oh, maybe like $280. You think we can get that? And I'm like, we're going to do better than that. And they ended up with like $327 and some change.
Yeah.
So they had all this money to take into the new home.
Right.
Were able to pay off some debt. They bought a brand new house, so not one that needed things.
Yeah.
So
they learned.
They learned. They did. Let's not buy the renovated older home that might need some things. Let's buy a brand new house. And they had money left over. I remember them asking me after they closed and things were, paid off and they had this money sitting in their account. And she emails me the next day and she says, so the money that is in our bank account right now, do we have to pay anybody with that or is that for us? And I said, oh no, that's your money. Like you've already paid, all of these things were paid off. She's like, all of that got paid? And I'm like, yes, all of that got paid. Everything's paid for. And now whatever you do with that, I mean, I don't care what you do with it. Yeah. Buy some clothes for that baby you're about to have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a great thing because the concierge program, the way it works is basically they're lending you money against the equity that you have in your home.
Yes.
So let's say it's $10,000 just because it's easy. You need $10,000 to do whatever it is.
Right.
You take that, and then when the house is sold, when it's closing, that $10,000 gets taken out of your proceeds and sent back to pay back Compass, and you keep all the rest. Yeah. So you're not ever actually paying back Compass except through the proceeds of your home.
Right.
So you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it.
Budget for a monthly payment that's going to come out of there.
No,
it's
the
just
money is
paid for.
really readily available.
It's kind of like getting an
very
advance
easy.
on selling your home in some ways. I mean,
Yes.
there's some terms and conditions that apply, you know, with like if it's not sold in a certain amount of time and that sort of thing. I think it's like 6 months.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that right?
so. Yeah.
They change it every now and again, but you know, we haven't had anybody that's gone.
And
that
there's
far.
a maximum amount that you could, even if you have a lot of equity, they're not going to lend you.
You're not getting $100,000. It's not happening.
Yeah. So there's a maximum amount, but it is. So I had a client use it, and you know she needed things that paint had literally failed on the outside of her home. Single mom, she couldn't afford to repaint the house. You know, so we painted the outside of the house. We did a lot of other little things. She was missing her soffits. We put in soffits. We did a lot of stuff, and it sold very quickly for way more than she thought she was going to get. Same thing. Right. She didn't have to think about it. The money, when you request it, it's released like almost immediately.
Yeah, it's super instant. I'm really impressed with how quickly like everybody's been able to get access to their funds. So it's way easier than like maybe you want to go get a personal loan or something like that.
Right.
You don't have the option of the concierge, or a lot of people are like, I'm not spending any money. I'm selling this thing. Why
and
would
you're
I
not
do
paying
that?
Interest.
No.
There's no interest to be paid. You're literally paying it back, straight money, back to Compass with no interest. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And so we love that program for sellers.
And I like that you could use it for anything. So
Yes.
let's say you just want to put some mulch in your flower beds, or you want to stage it because it's empty. You can do that.
Or you're anticipating that you're going to get a repair request.
You can use it for repairs. We did. We had some extra that they didn't spend, and we had some repair things, and they knocked all those things out. So they didn't have to go digging in their pockets trying to figure out where is this money
Or the
coming
deal
from.
falls through because the buyer's like, I'm not moving forward if these things aren't repaired. The seller cannot afford to repair them.
Right.
And you're in a stalemate. No, because you have the funds there, the seller can get those things repaired. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a great program. We love it.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. So if you've got some stuff that needs to be done at your house, but you're tired of your house, you should call us.
Yes. And we're thinking, you know, we've been really thinking about people who purchased in like 2018, 2019. They have good equity. You know, the values are still way up, and
inventory is low. I've got, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 buyers right now that are out there. They're looking, but there's nothing to look at because nothing fits their needs. So.
Yeah. So if you're looking to sell, call us, and we would love to help. Or if you're looking to buy, call us, and we would love to help.
Yeah.
Our number is 321-422-2160. You can email us, hello@coastalestateteam.com. It sounds funny when you say that.
You can slide into our DMs on Instagram or TikTok.
Yes.
Who's following us on TikTok.
I know. Would you please follow us on TikTok?
Oh my gosh, it's, what are we? Life by the Beach, Florida.
Life by the Beach,
All
Florida.
together, one word. Yes.
Life by the Beach, Florida. You can just like search on TikTok, Coastal Estate Team. We pop up that way too if you can't
We're
find
not
us. Right?
dancing on there.
Yeah. There's no dancing.
No.
We don't dance. But we do talk, and yeah. And Kellie's got a personal TikTok, so do I. And we have our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
That's the other one.
Yeah. So hit us up. We'd love to help, or send us your story ideas. We like those too.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Weather forecast today.
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah.